This really might have to be a two-parter.
I don't know. It might be. Yeah.
We got to give him a hook, though.
Yeah.
Like, so anyway, here's when I murdered that guy on the Appalachian Trail. He can't put that on there, because then, like, what if somebody did give
me an investigation? You'll never get that chief hiking officer.
I thought you were going to say you'll never get that cheese sauce back.
You'll never get that cheese sauce back.
You'll never get that cheese sauce back. I'm going to start saying that. People are like, yeah, man, I don't know. I'm like, you'll never get that cheese sauce back. Cheese joy.
Cheese joy.
That just...
That's a great story.
No, it's not.
No?
Here's why.
It's not?
It was an extremely funny moment in our lives that would not be a good story. All right, I'll tell the story. We were at a coffee shop. This girl... What did the sticker actually say?
Choose joy.
Yeah, she had a sticker that...
on her computer.
It said choose joy, and I thought it said cheese joy. So I was just like, man, this girl really loves cheese. And then it dawned on me that said choose joy, which makes so much more sense for a sticker on your laptop. But then, like, I told her, like, I thought that said cheese joy. And then, like, I'm just, like, laughing so hard about it. And she's just like, these guys really think this is funny. And that's the whole story. Yeah. It's not that great of a story.
That whole situation... So, I lived up in Kent for a while. Oh. And, there's a place called Bentley.
Up in Kent.
Up in Kent!
If you ever write a biography, I want you to call it Up in Kent. Even though you only live there for a small portion of your life.
Up in Kent.
It's like, hey man, you want to hang out tonight? Me and Betsy are heading up to Kent.
And he came up for a coffee. And it was one of those times, like, have you ever had it with, like, a good friend where you're, like, no matter what happens, everybody...
Do you think I'm a good friend?
Yeah, dude.
I think you're a good friend, too.
It was one of those times where, like, for some reason, we just found everything funny. I don't know why, but that choose joy really set it off.
I've laughed I've laughed pretty hard at things, but that was up there.
And we made it like a group chat with
cheese
Jesse
joy,
for some...
which was unrelated.
Yeah, he had no idea why.
He didn't get it, and that's why it's a bad story.
Yeah,
because no one gets it. It's like the trail. The two things that are the most unrelatable for me is the trail and cheese joy.
That's true. Also, another thing about me and Ethan's friends is that he has a lot of mannerisms that you, like, slowly develop over time. Like, yeah, baby.
You're the only other person in my life that does it still.
They're, like, adopted that.
Rob abandoned it. It started with me and Rob. I'm going to give Rob all the credit.
Yeah.
Rob, the origin of that voice is in an Instagram video that Rob did.
That's amazing.
Years ago. He works with my dad, and he was in my dad's office, and there was this picture of me as a little toddler, and he was like zooming in, and he was like, oh, my name's Ethan, and it wasn't like exactly what it is now, but it was like the my names part, which is like a huge part of it. The my names part was like, the origin was that video. So I give Rob all the credit.
Yeah.
Like, he created the voice. I feel like I really honed it.
Yeah.
And for a while it was me and his.
And I merely adopted it.
It was me and his. He doesn't really do it anymore.
Yeah.
But like you do.
It's like
my sister-in-law. This actually made me think of you. They were visiting a couple weeks ago, and she told me that. So a big part of this voice is that you'll go, oh yeah. But like a big part of it is. So like I'll do it all to be funny or whatever, but it's become such a part of my life that I'll do it when I'm by myself. So like I was like, why come by like no one was around. You were in the kitchen, and like you didn't even know I was around, and I just heard you go. Well, I was like getting my lunch ready for the next day. I was like I'm like peeling carrots, like slicing them. Yeah, and she was just like,
amazing.
I'm like, I was like, it's just a part of my life.
There's a small group of people that do that.
And you're the only other person I think that does.
Really? Yeah.
I mean, no one else. I mean, Rob used to do it. He doesn't really anymore.
Does Jesse?
Jesse doesn't do it.
No, he doesn't. Oh well.
I'm jealous of this office. I legitimately am.
I love it up here. I need to get a little couch. Betsy says that I have too many desks.
I think you don't have enough.
I say I have the right amount.
I think you have a couple more desks. You can call it the desk room.
Stack them up.
You know how like back in the day they would just name rooms like really like I went to a Catholic church once, and the bathroom was called the necessary room.
Whoa.
And that stuck with me.
I like that. That's kind of interesting. Like, because, like, there's so many names for the bathroom. Like, lavatory if you're in Britain. Or, like...
in the army.
Or, yeah. Or you got, you know, restroom is, like, more of, like, that, like, PG. Like, you'll ask your waiter, like, where's the restroom? Or, like, bathroom. Some people have a weird stigma about it. Commode is when you just don't give a shit.
I will say this. I watch these.
Yeah.
Like I do.
That's why I put you in. I at least mentioned you.
I'm subscribed. I haven't listened to your podcast.
It's alright. It's about weddings.
I have multiple.
I know you know.
I have multiple friends with podcasts that I would like. Slim Shady. He has a podcast that's probably great. I follow their Instagram. Yeah. I like their photos. I think it would probably be great. But like, I hate it when people say, like, I don't have time, because I do have time.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I listen to a lot of stuff, but there's so much stuff. I'm just like, there's books and there's podcasts and there's music. I can't even keep up with a lot of the ones I want to listen to. So it's like, all right, you're my friend, I love you, but I can't listen to your hour-long podcast. Yeah. I can, but to be honest, I want to, but I'm choosing not to because there's other things.
Yeah. There's other things that you're into. That's the cool thing.
And that's why it's like, I want to start a podcast, but at the same time, like, how many friends do I have that were like, I would love to listen to your podcast, it would probably be great, but I won't. We might end up ordering a pizza. Which I'm honestly okay with.
That guy texted me back.
There's a lot of work to grilling the food that you want to grill tonight.
So this guy texted me back. He said, you can call and let us know whenever.
I'm feeling so uncomfortable.
I'm getting a little worried right now. This random guy just texted me and he said, are you...
It was fault. I got you to do it. You should have texted it back.
Oh no. We thought it was
I feel so uncomfortable.
We thought it was going to be funny, but it turned sketchy real quick. Like, real quick.
Like, this is like Pineapple Express type stuff.
Dude, he's going to...
we should do a podcast about that era of comedies. Those were so good. Judd Apatow, man.
Dude.
We owe that man a lot.
He is, yeah. He said, I'm going to read it. I might not put it in, but we'll see.
I'll read it.
Okay, you can...
I'll be him, you be you. Hey, is this...
No, this is Patrick.
GIF version.
The GIF.
Oh, LOL. So your name is Patrick? I was trying to find the number of this guy that came over to my apartment on Monday. He got his light bulb back. LOL.
Haha. Yeah, that was me. Light bulb laughing emoji.
Is there a light bulb laughing one? Or is that two
separate
light bulb
slash laughing crying emoji.
Two sideways laughing emojis. Damn. I was about to feel so bad. LOL. But listen. All caps. Listen. I was going up to Youngstown tomorrow. No vowels. And I was seeing if you had any more of that shit you gave us. If so, how much for that amount? That was all one sentence.
Damn.
I need my brother to have a good time tomorrow. No vowels. LOL, all caps. Which is a very middle-aged woman way to say it.
That's like...
You can call and let us know whenever. I didn't mean to bother y'all or anything. We just don't know where else to go for that. Plus, I'm trying to go to Ledges tomorrow. LOL. This time it was no vowels and tomorrow, but LOL all lowercase.
Yeah, this
which
is like
is a
more
much more
subdued.
younger version. I feel like you should tell him, be like, hey man, I'm just gonna come clean. This is the wrong number. I was fucking with you. I'm very sorry. I feel like that's what you should do. You
should it off right now.
Just
don't go any deeper.
Send him the text.
All right, let's do it on camera.
This is the right thing to do.
All right.
I'm sorry that I caused this.
I'll be like, hey man, just joshing with you.
No, because, hey man, be like, hey man, I'm really sorry. This is actually the wrong number. I was just f***ing around. Or joshing, whatever you want to say. Because my friend dared me to. Now I feel bad. Hope you find the right number. And I hope you find a good time. And then send him a porno gif. I'm just kidding. Or you sent it. Like, that was so quick. Isn't it funny how sometimes you like write out there should be like a book of all the texts that were written out that were never sent. It's probably the most honest book of all time.
You know, I'm gonna put this kid dancing.
Dude, you know what that's from?
What?
I know what that's from. Do you know what that's from? A school was told that they got to see an early screening of the Black Panther movie. Isn't it crazy?
There we go.
I know the origin of that GIF. We should start a podcast called The Origin of the GIF. Kombucha Girl.
That'd be great,
and
dude.
I've given 2 origins of GIFs that you did not know. And you did not know because you didn't watch it.
Yeah, you didn't watch it.
I'm
a little nervous. I got another.
You're a popular guy. I don't get any texts anymore. I used to get a lot more texts. What if you looked at 173 texts?
Like, I wish I had a lot more.
Said that right there. Just in case. We're the just in case generation. We go to dinner. Just in case. Just in case.
You never know. There could be a better party out there.
We hang out with some bros.
Not right now though, because COVID. So me and Ethan, ever since we met, working the
Weezer.
Working bar.
All right, here's
Starbucks.
episode 5 of the Total Discography podcast.
Me and Ethan really bonded over our musical preferences.
Mm-hmm.
While working at Starbucks together, we would sing like whole albums of songs.
It's not true. We never did that once. We talked about it.
We talked about
We
it.
were like, one day we'll sing all this album, and then we would get like a song and a half in, and then we would stop.
We don't know this as much as we thought we did.
No, that was not it at all. We knew it. I knew it.
Oh. So maybe.
All right, I'll give you an example. Like, Two Lefts Don't Make a Rapid 3D by Reliant K. We would talk about, like, this, like, to find our middle school. We're, like, Tom.
My cousin's in the band.
He was. Kind of, for a second.
Yeah.
We're like, we're going to sing this whole album one day at work. And we'd be like, okay, so. And then that was it.
Yeah.
I do know the whole album.
I'm a little less
Betsy
versed.
is laughing hysterically down there. Do you have a wife?
You were there for the wedding.
I was there. You were starting a next topic that we never got into.
So next so while working at Starbucks, me and Ethan kind of, we got into the same music, or like, we kind of...
We didn't get into the same.
We had a lot of same, like, bands that we were fans of. And then we kind of grew closer.
Let me ask you something. And this is an honest question. Did I bring you further in to Weezer and Bon Iver?
Yeah. Oh, well, Weezer... I had already been pretty deep,
but
Bon Iver, I had listened to.
This is what's interesting.
But I grew to love him because of you.
That's interesting because I've loved him for a while.
Yeah.
But like, I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, I feel like you're the friend that I associate the most with Bon Iver. Like, if I'm like you sent me that song the other day, I was already going to send it to you. I feel like I told you about Bon Iver.
Yeah.
And you got more into him. Mm-hmm. And now, I don't even think about that. I just think like, oh, you're my Bon Iver friend.
And we've kind of been on the same path musically, I think.
We love certain points. Like,
yeah.
Our music stuff is like, I have this big thing over here, and he's got this big thing over here, but there's a few things in the middle.
It's like a Venn diagram. There's like, here, I'll do it.
I
do like this.
I would say the majority of our music taste is actually different.
Yeah.
But there's certain things that we deeply bond over.
Yeah. Hold on, let me do a diagram. So there'll be a diagram here of me.
I'll do.
Oh, wait, here. Me. And then
us.
That was kind of weird, but kind of cool.
That was touching.
Recently, Phoebe Bridgers. We'll be getting into her.
Let's rephrase that.
Okay.
I got into Phoebe Bridgers in 2017, right when her album came out. I told you about
Trail?
It. No, it was it came out right after the Trail. And I told you about her. We listened to her at Barb's house. You're like, that's pretty cool. And then like a year or two later, he was like, bro, this is Phoebe Bridgers. And I was over here like, just for the record, cool guy cred. Stop. 2017, I declared Stranger in the Alps as my album of the year.
I did listen to it throughout that year.
But you didn't get into it. You just said a minute ago, like, recently we've been getting into Phoebe Bridgers. That is not true at all. Like, not even slightly. I've been into Phoebe Bridgers for 3 years.
Okay.
And I get all the cool guy cred.
All the cool guy cred. All right. Well, you
Cool guy cred is the new hipster.
It is, yeah. And then we went and saw Better Oblivion.
We did.
For my
advice. It was not at Musica.
No.
It's at a drastically larger venue.
Where was that?
It was in Cleveland.
At Agora.
Agora. I was supposed to see Nate Bargatze in May there. I was supposed to see 1975 this year as well.
Dude.
There's a lot of stuff I was supposed to do this year.
But yeah, so Phoebe Bridgers, Bon Iver, Weezer. What are some other bands that were...
That's about it. Bon Iver and Weezer are like the... Childish Gambino.
There was... hold on.
Can you give me a hint or something? I don't... Oh, Luthi?
Oh, shoot. Well, Luthi. Luthi.
Oh
Nashville.
My gosh, Luthi.
Like, they need to put out more music.
I love Luthi.
That guy just texted me back.
Oh,
Oh, wait, no, he didn't. Never mind. Okay.
Oh, he's never going to text you back. It's going to, like, be the one that got away. I'm going to get a little
more bourbon.
Something, and then I'm going to call it. Yeah. Do you want some more?
Yeah, might as well. Hey.
Look at us.
Hey, look at us.
Who'd have thought?
Not me. I'll put that over.
I love you, buddy.
I love you too. All right.
This might be a two-parter in the sense that we never air this.
None of it. No, there was good parts though. I wanted to talk about Phoebe Bridgers' most recent album, Punisher. Like, because that's one.
Wait, add that to your list of words that are hard to say with phrases.
Punisher.
You're like,
Phoebe.
Punisher. You're like, I want to talk about Phoebe Bridgers' recent album. Punisher. Punisher.
At some point, they're going to take the bottom braces off, and I will no longer have to have this stupid
Listen,
thing.
man.
It's been super annoying, super hard to talk, but
Phoebe Bridgers' recent album, Punisher, released by Ethan Gruska. I do not know how to say his name.
Gruska.
Here's my thing about Ethan Gruska / Gruska.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who his grandfather is?
No.
You probably will not know. I'm going to tell you. John Williams.
Oh.
John Williams, the most legendary film composer
Holy.
of all time. His grandson is
What?
Ethan Gruska, who produced Phoebe Bridgers' album. Who saw that coming?
That's amazing.
Not me.
Not me.
That is
amazing.
All right, I'm going to do a sad thing. I've been on this recent thing about celebrities who have kids who are like being creative, and it's difficult because like they're in the celebrity realm, but it's like, and a lot of times they are legitimately talented, but I can't help but thinking like, you are legitimately talented, but I also would never have heard of you if your dad was not this person.
Yeah.
So like Ethan Gruska, his granddad, his grandpapa, his granddaddy, his grandpa, his papaw, his peepaw, his dad's dad is John Williams.
Yeah.
I don't need to say anything else. John Williams. So like if his grandfather was not John Williams, would he have produced Phoebe Bridgers' album? You know who else's daughter is like a pretty successful singer-songwriter right now? J.J. Abrams. He's got a daughter, Gracie Abrams. Look at her Spotify. Yeah.
I'm not to check
and
that
like
out.
she's good. So I was listening to it, I was like, this is really good. But then I'm like, but she's J.J. Abrams' daughter. Like, what does that mean?
That is pretty.
And so it's just been this thing with me, like, and like that's very common.
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams' parents were in the film industry. It's like a nepotism thing.
Yeah.
Like his. It's just,
it's
just like, hey,
they grow up in that world.
Here's
like,
hey, here's some privilege. And you know what? Like, I'm not knocking him. If I had the privilege, I would be famous too.
Yeah,
maybe.
it's like Jaden Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and so like.
Well, he's done a lot of work.
And then I'm like. And then you think about it, like as celebrities, like your kids, you're signing them up to have a mentally unstable life, just from the get go. Anyway, Phoebe Bridgers' new album, Punisher.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on it? What like I've been listening to it like a lot lately.
Album of the year.
You
know, it was not album.
Let's cheer that. Phoebe Bridgers.
What are we cheering to?
Phoebe.
Album of the year.
Good job.
I'll never forget 3 years ago on a nice. Like probably September, October night, I was like, hey, you should check out Phoebe Bridgers. She's great. And you're like, I've never heard of Phoebe Bridgers. I'm not going to talk to you about Phoebe Bridgers for another year.
I did, so before I talked, I had been listening to Stranger in the Alps, but that time that I talked to you about it, like I had been like months deep. So, you know, I'm just defending myself.
I'm just defending myself. I'm a trendsetter. I'm a trailblazer. I'm a chief hiking officer. Bringing it back. This is the worst video of all time to give me that job. You can cut. There's some good stuff actually.
Yeah, there is some good stuff.
I'm going to trust you.
I
Don't post.
know what to do.
Send me the video before you post it. All right. So I think it's great. She really expanded her songwriting abilities. Like the first album, they always say this about like first album, like you have your whole life to write it. So a lot of it she wrote as a teenager, and it's like insane. Like I love that album.
Oh yeah.
This one, you hear little tastes of like, oh, like this is massive. This is big. This is beyond what she's done before. And like I think that like years from now, like 10 years from now, people look back and be like, wow, look at those two. Like that was really laying a foundation for what she is. You know? Mm-hmm. I think songs like Kyoto and This Is the End. Is that what it's called?
This Is the End, yeah.
No, it's not.
Or I think that's a movie.
It's called I Know the End. It's called I Know the End. Songs like Kyoto and I Know the End are really laying the foundation for like
I know the
what
end.
she will be.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always going to be that camp of people like, man, the first two are the best.
Yeah.
They're really great. But there's also this level of like of adoration and like fanboy, or I'm like, it's hard for me to think of something she could release that I wouldn't enjoy because of who she is. songs like Chinese Satellite and I Know the End and Kyoto.
I See You has been one of my favorite songs.
I See You. Like she has, which is about her drummer who she used to date, who's still her drummer, but they don't date. That's uncomfortable, to say the least. She's like a premier songwriter who she's only like, it's like the tip of the iceberg of what she has to offer. And she's done a really smart thing. Like since she released Stranger in the Alps, she did a collaboration with Julian Baker and Lucy Dacus, which is Boy Genius. She did a collaboration with Connor Oberst of Bright Eyes.
Oh, dude.
And she's really expanded her discography. So by the time this album came out, which is her technically it's her second album, but you're like, oh, she has this whole body of work that's really given her the room to like put her toe in all these different genres. And she's, to me, maybe the most like interesting new artist I'm following.
Yeah, especially like the cool thing about her through this whole like pandemic is that she's...
What are you talking about? Is there a pandemic?
You might not know this. Hold on to your seatbelt.
I'm sitting in a chair in an attic, so I'm
there's
probably not going to hold on.
There's a global pandemic going on.
Can you say pandemic? Say pandemic 10 times fast.
Pandemic, 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 pandemic,
Faster.
pandemic, pandemic,
Faster.
pandemic, pandemic, pandemic.
That was 10 times.
I did. It was alright. The, like, her doing, like, a song in, like, a race car, singing in a bathtub, like, she's done some awesome things. She hasn't let this whole thing kind of slow her down. Like, she's been on, like, Jimmy Kimmel, she's been on, like, other late night spots, and, I don't know, she's been doing cool stuff.
She's doing a good thing.
Yeah. She knows how to work the social media kind of realm.
Work it.
Work it. Anyway, so, but yeah, another person I want to talk about is Bon Iver, because that is one of the things that we share, I think, the most. Like, that's like top tier.
You know who's featured on his new song?
Who?
Justin Vernon. Justin Vernon. Bruce Springsteen.
Ah.
He's a man.
He is. He's a man on the run.
You could even say the man. He's a born to run.
He's a born to run.
What would you like to say about Justin Vernon?
Well, I don't know. Like, kind of going back, like, there were times that, like, especially his live performances back at the duplex.
Oh man,
we would
just like go to sleep to his live videos.
We would like have a projector up. His music just kind of like gets to you, you know.
He started off as like a singer-songwriter folk thing with the first album, and then the second one he really expanded it to really kind of not orchestral but really full, and he brought in horns and like just this different sound. And then the third album, he really got experimental with electronic stuff. And then he's collaborated with a lot of people, Taylor Swift, Kanye West, which is, playing both sides. And now he's become very experimental, and he's just a very interesting artist to follow. Mm-hmm. Has he collaborated with Phoebe Bridgers yet?
I don't know, but that'd be amazing.
That would
be phenomenal.
That'd be pretty
Two
dope.
worlds colliding.
Kapuya.
In a good way.
National IPA Day.
Yeah. But yeah, Bon Iver.
Great.
Excellent. So for the last little bit, podcasts. I always talk about podcasts. I give it like a recommendation.
Why does that say anytime?
It's I don't know.
Just like you
can read this anytime.
All right.
What are some podcasts that you've been getting into lately and that you would recommend to my audience?
The big one is a podcast called Fake Doctors, Real Friends, which is Donald Faison and Zach Braff of the television show Scrubs. Love Scrubs. Watched it growing up. I've watched it a couple times. Hey, number one. Hey, number two. Hey, number one. Hey, number two.
I love it.
Great show. And they've been doing a rewatch podcast. They're on season 2, and they do it Tuesdays and Thursdays. So for me, on Monday and Wednesday nights, I watch the episode they're going to talk about, and I listen, and it's phenomenal. They've had the whole cast on, like, just their it's really, for me, it's always been really fun when, like, a piece of art you really like, the people in it really like each other.
Yeah.
Because, like, you hear stories about, like, oh, so-and-so hated each other. Well, Zach Braff and Donald Faison are literally best friends in real life, and they have been for a while. And they're doing this podcasting. You can just tell it's a labor of love. It's highly entertaining, and I just can't recommend it enough. It's currently my favorite podcast. Another podcast I'm going to recommend before I've listened to, because it literally just launched today.
Oh.
It's called Pass Through Frequencies, and it's hosted by the lead singer Jim Adkins of Jimmy Eat World, which, as you know, I'm a huge fan of Jimmy Eat World. And so he's starting a new podcast about songwriting where he talks to various songwriters. Today's episode was Mark Hoppus of Blink-182. Haven't listened to it yet, but he's got Dave Bazan coming up, who's another one of my favorites of all time. He's got Ben Gibbard of Death Cab for Cutie. And it's going to be a podcast about songwriting. So I can't imagine that won't be great.
Yeah.
Other podcasts that I listen to, Fake Doctor. I used to listen to a lot more than I do now. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. And
Where are you at with the Joe Rogan experience?
I just basically watch clips on YouTube occasionally.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I'm the one that told you about Joe Rogan.
Joe
Rogan is like, it's just like, I guess before, I don't know, I'm just not as interested in listening to a 3-hour podcast.
Yeah.
So like,
it depends on the guest.
If there's a certain guest, a lot of podcasts I'm subscribed to, like Dax Shepard's podcast, Joe Rogan, Pete Holmes, like if it's like a specific guest that I'm interested in, I'll listen.
Yeah.
But I don't listen to like every episode. Whereas there's some I listen to every episode. Fake Doctors. I listen to every episode of Conan O'Brien. Oh, Conan O'Brien.
Conan Needs a Friend.
Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend is like, so I said earlier that Fake Doctors is like currently my favorite. I think Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend might be my favorite podcast ever made. Here's why. Because I've always loved Conan, but I don't like watch all his stuff. This podcast is Conan O'Brien at his best. He's the funniest. He's hilarious. It's unscripted.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not these 7-minute interviews. It is the best. Like he is so good. And his team, you know, Sona.
I love his back and forth with Sonia. Like,
Sonia
it's so funny.
And Gorvage.
Because they kind of hate each other, but they love each other.
Exactly. She's been his assistant for 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, it is so good.
She calls him out on his
and he's one of those, like, it doesn't matter who the guest is. I listen.
Yeah.
Like, I listen to every single episode. So, like, that one, I used to be that guy that was like, I listen to like 12 podcasts always. And I don't. Like, there's some podcasts that I used to love that I just kind of fell off. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I listen to a lot of music. Fortunately, I have a job where I can pretty much listen to stuff a lot, which is really great.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, the podcasts I would currently recommend are Fake Doctors, Real Friends. If you're a Scrubs fan, and if you're not, maybe watch it for the first time.
Where do you watch Scrubs?
It's on Hulu.
Hulu? Okay.
The Secret Answer. My friend sent it to me. And I'll watch it on there.
You gonna give it to me?
I can if you want it.
Like Game of Thrones?
I don't know if you'll actually watch it though.
I will watch. I love Scrubs.
It's also on Hulu. The thing about Scrubs, so like I have Hulu. The thing about Scrubs though is a big part of that show was the music.
Yeah. Oh.
And a lot of it, like it was before streaming was even a thing. So like they don't. Like, the rights to a lot of the music is not covered in streaming. So on Hulu, there's different songs.
Oh, weird.
So I have a friend. You're going to have this if you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
I have a friend who has all the DVD rips.
Yeah.
And I was watching it on Hulu, and then I was like, hey, can you send me Scrubs so that I can watch it purely with the correct music? And he was like, yes. And so I've been doing that. But it's also on Hulu if you want to watch it legit or get the DVDs. Or just, you know, it's phenomenal. I love it. Like, it's my favorite podcast currently. That one and Conan. And, I mean, the jury's out on the Jim Adkins one. I adore Jimmy Eat World. Mm-hmm. So I can't imagine I won't like it.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, Fake Doctors, Real Friends. That'll be, like, that's the most new, like, that's pretty new. So that's the one I'm going to recommend.
Yeah.
For fans of Scrubs or not.
Yeah.
You know, like, if you've watched it, you have to listen.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched it, it's an iconic show. So yeah, Fake Doctors, Real Friends.
Yeah.
Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. Pass Through Frequencies with Jim Adkins of Jimmy Eat World.
Yeah, I've kind of been like for me, I'll search for like a topic recently. Like I've been listening to a lot of like stuff on film photography and kind of like following different big like film photographers. And
can I do another one?
Oh yeah, go for it.
I just recently. Oh, there's two more.
Sorry,
I'm sorry.
No,
I'll
go for it.
So one was called The Rise and Fall of HQ Trivia.
Ooh,
oh man, there's like three more.
Interesting.
Now I'm like that guy. So like this was by the Ringer Podcast Network, and it was like I think it was 8 or 9 parts of just like the story of HQ trivia, which a lot of people were really into. I was really into, and it was just so fascinating to hear the story of that. And then another one, it's a Spotify exclusive that I've been listening to called An Oral History of The Office. If you're a fan of The Office, which most people are, especially for me so far in the first half, if you were a fan of it when it came out, that was a really cool guy thing to say.
It was.
I'm a cool guy. Absolutely phenomenal podcast. An Oral History of The Office is a 12-part series. They're 6 deep. It's hosted by the guy that plays Kevin, and they just go through it.
Yeah.
They talk to Ricky Gervais. They talk to the cast. They talk to the crew. They talk to everybody. Just about how the show became a thing. Absolutely phenomenal. Can't recommend it enough. And then the other one is the Rewatchables, which I don't listen to every episode. I just listen to the ones that I know. But also, I have watched movies for the purpose of listening to it because Bill Simmons is like... Let me just tell you something about Bill Simmons. I go to sleep to Bill Simmons.
Oh, right.
Like, when I fall asleep, for as long as I can remember, I've listened to stuff. When I was a kid, I listened to music on my iPod or this, and that. But I like to listen to people talking when I fall asleep, but I don't... Like, if it's like like Fake Doctors or Conan or something, where I'm like, or the Oral History of The Office, where I'm like, I want to know, like, I listen. But so what I've been doing lately is I'll listen to old episodes of Rewatchables that I've already listened to fall asleep to.
Interesting.
So I'll like put on like the Hangover Rewatchables with a 30-minute time,
like timer,
a sleep timer, and I'll just throw it on and fall asleep to it.
Yeah.
So but what I'm saying is, but it has to have Bill Simmons. Every night I fall asleep to Bill Simmons. Because I adore Bill Simmons. And I don't like sports at all. But I could listen to Bill Simmons talk about sports, and I could be kind of into it.
There you go.
Because I love Bill Simmons, and I fall asleep to his voice every night.
Yeah.
What if that was an email that I got the...
Oh, dude, that
wasn't.
The perfect...
The point is...
I don't think that guy is going to text me back.
In 2017, I hiked the Appalachian Trail, and I would like to do it again in 2021. Hopefully COVID will be over, and hopefully I'll eat soon because I'm starving.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're gonna grow.
So,
I mean, I could be wrong.
We'll figure it out.
If we are gonna grow, I'll run and get a sandwich, and then leave and go home.
Yeah. But this has been Thirsty Thursdays with Adam Robb, Ethan Ameriine, legendary guest. We hope you guys enjoyed the show.
This is going to be a 14-parter. I hope you
never know.
The next few months of your life are booked because it's going to be me and him.
Take the time, watch every episode, and we thank you guys for joining. I usually salute the audience.
This has been Total Discography.
Yeah.
For the record, that was a podcast we started about Weezer. We didn't finish.
There's episodes on this channel.
There's another one called Discography that was the same podcast, and then there's also a Weezer podcast, like 2 other. I don't even want to get
anyways
started. Good luck with this one, man. My God.
Anyways, thank you guys for joining. It's been Thirsty Thursday with your boy Adam Robb.
You want me to say my name?
Yeah.
Say my name when no one is around you. Say, baby, I love you while you running games. Say my name. You acting kinda shady. Ain't calling me baby. Why the sudden change? Ba-ba-da, boo-da, ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da. My name is Ethan Ameriine, and I would love to be the chief hiking officer for Devil's Backbone Brewery 2021.
Let's go!
Hey.
Hey.
Ooh, what do? Hey, yeah! That's how you end it.
Hamilton.
Hamilton.